Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Joanne, also known as Redbone Joe, and I make lifestyle videos. Yes, I do have on my scarf for anybody who's asking, so don't judge me, okay? I just woke up not too long ago. Um, Today, I'm going to do something called Storytime. I want to tell you guys about my car accident that I had last year. If it seems like I'm going, kind of fast through the story, I am. I don't want to make the video too long that you guys don't want to watch it. So if you could stay tuned to the whole video, I really appreciate it. So yeah, let's get into the story. So it happened last year on August the 25th, which was a Saturday. I had just left the beauty supply store and I was on my way to Target, which was going to be my last stop before going home. I had just got back on the highway. I was on there for about maybe 10 minutes before anything happened. I was driving, I was in the middle lane, listening to my music, singing along with whatever song that I was listening to. And out of nowhere, I just felt like this really hard push from behind me. I quickly looked into my mirror and I see that it was a guy and, driving a red car that had hit me. I'm quickly trying to, get control of my car and, get from in front of him so it won't be worse than what just happened. I couldn't do so, unfortunately. So, yeah, out of nowhere, I start getting pushed onto the right shoulder, the right concrete wall, and I immediately hit that. And out of nowhere, I remember seeing a flash of black and white, like a black and white light. Maybe that's when, the airbags had deployed, because I remember they all had came out, and I was asked did I know that they came out and when they came out. But I don't remember. So I'm thinking, when I saw the black and white, maybe that's when they came out. After I hit the right side, out of nowhere, I just remember, my car suddenly going to the left shoulder, which is the divider between, the cars that are going up and cars that are going down. So I basically went from the middle lane going straight, going to the right side, hitting that side, and then going towards the left side. So then my car was then sideways, and the other car was still pushing me this way slowly until we both eventually stopped. So yeah, after the car stopped, I remember seeing smoke coming from my car. I got, really upset. I was crying uncontrollably because in my mind I was thinking the worst. Maybe the car was going to catch on fire, but I just couldn't move. I was, so shocked at what had just happened, and I was just sitting there crying uncontrollably. I just couldn't move. I was just still. And I do remember seeing, the guy that was driving and the other guy that was in the passenger seat get out the car. So I tried my best, to think the best in people. And I thought, they were going to come over to the car and, come help me out and see was I okay. But unfortunately, they did not do that. They got out the car and ran, which then clicked in my mind that, okay, the car's stolen. And I think it had to be anyway because the guys that got out were pretty young. I'm 25, so they looked like they were about somewhere between 17, maybe 20, 21. So yeah, they got out and left, and then out of nowhere, a man comes and put his hand on my shoulder. From what I can remember, there was a truck driver, that was driving behind us. And come to find out, this man was so nice that after seeing the accident, he actually turned his truck sideways to keep all the other cars from coming and hitting my car, which I'm so grateful for, because if he hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't be here today telling you guys the story. All the other cars would have probably kept coming, hit me, I would have been gone, and it would have been a much bigger pileup of cars than it was. So I'm very grateful to that man. Till this day, he did something he didn't have to do, but he quickly took action and did it anyway. I don't know him. I wish I did. I just want to hug him and say thank you, because he literally saved my life doing what he did. So I'm very appreciative for him, you know. So yeah, to get through the rest of the story, he came over, put his hand on my shoulder, and basically was trying to ask me, was I okay, but I just couldn't give him a response. Like I said, I was just bawling out crying. I couldn't really talk, form a word, let alone a sentence. So I was just crying the entire time. And to get through, fast forward through the story, the police and the ambulance came, basically doing the same, trying to ask me, was I okay? They was trying to look at me, trying to see, was I bleeding? Was I okay? Basically, they didn't want me to move. So everybody that was around, cops, the guys from the ambulance, they all tried to help get me out of the car, because they didn't know if anything was broken. So they didn't want me, to be moving too much to get out of the car. So they had to help me out and put me in the ambulance. Also, before that happened, before they got me out the car, they were basically trying to talk to me and see, was it anybody that can be reached from my phone to let them know what had happened. The guys eventually got in contact with my mother, who was away on a trip and was very upset, because she was away and couldn't do anything about it. So she got in contact with my grandmother, who actually was on the other side of the highway and had saw the entire accident. So she quickly came onto the other side of the highway, and my aunt was in the car, so she jumped out and got an ambulance and rode with me to the hospital. So yeah, I get to the hospital. They're basically running tests, x-rays, trying to make sure I'm okay. There's no internal bleeding. Nothing is broken. Eventually my mother's boyfriend showed up. Thank God for him. He was there, being by my side, waiting, for the rest of the night. Come to find out, nothing was broken. I didn't have any internal bleeding. I did have a few scratches and bruises. I had a knot on my forehead with a little cut up there. Maybe that was from the airbag. I also had a cut on my neck. I had bad neck pain, stomach pain. I had a little cut on my chest, I believe, too. But the worst thing was my wrist. My bone wasn't broken, but one of them was kind of like pushed over to the side. I'm not really sure. I forgot which one it was. Kind of pushed over, shoved over from the side, which caused a lot of pain in my wrist, hand, and my fingers. But then all of this around my wrist was bruised up, coming down my arm and a little bit up my arm. So all of that was sore and was really bruised up. It was black and purple and everything for a few days. But yeah, they kept me for a few hours, gave me, a little pain medication. They gave me Tylenol or whatever for any pain that I was feeling anywhere in my body. And basically kept me, until the test came back and until my mother finally got to the hospital and we all went home. Yeah, and that was basically it. We did have to take a short drive home because I don't live far from the hospital that I was at. And that ride was very short, but it felt like the longest ride of my life. Because, of course, I had been so traumatized from the accident I just had. So the last thing I wanted to do was to get into another vehicle. But, yeah, I had to, so I just did. And that whole ride, I was just in the back tearing because I was so terrified to be back in yet another car. But, yeah, we eventually got home maybe 3 minutes later because, like I said, it didn't live far. And that was basically the end of my night. I got into bed and went to sleep. So, yeah, that's the story. This is not the first accident I've been in. I think this is like my 4th or 5th accident. And I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my God, I've been in so many accidents, so maybe this one was my fault. No, according to the story, I wasn't. And none of the accidents I've been in actually were my fault. It was always the other person's fault. So maybe I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know. But yeah. Hopefully that one was my last. I don't plan on having any more accidents in the future. I mean, I'm not driving right now, but still, I don't plan on having any more accidents. If I do, start driving again, I'm gonna make sure I take every precaution, to make sure that I am doing what I'm supposed to do and being very careful. And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to tell the story also, basically to raise a little awareness, to make sure that we're all doing what we need to do on the road, to make sure that we're not only keeping ourselves safe, but any passengers that we have in a car are safe, and other cars and pedestrians out there. Just make sure you guys are wearing your seatbelts, checking your mirrors, going at appropriate speed limits, and so on. It's very important that we make sure we're following the rules to make sure that everyone is taken care of and is safe. So please do so, and be careful out there. So thank you guys for tuning in to this video and staying and listening to the entire story. I really appreciate you guys being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Like the video, comment on below, let me know what you thought about my story. Let me know if you guys have any stories about car accidents that you've been in, or if you've known anybody close to you that's been in a car accident. Again, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also don't forget to hit the little bell next to it to make sure you guys get notifications on future videos that I'm going to post. So thank you guys for being here again. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys at my next video.